The sixth assignment focuses on applying human color response principles, understanding that we as human beings do respond to color with more than just our eyes. So you're going to take the principles from the lecture and apply them into creating color schemes. This assignment combines everything that we've talked about, everything that we've covered so far in the instruction. And you're putting it all together in order to use color to communicate. So a successful project will communicate what it's supposed to be communicating without confusion. It's going to be very direct and very obvious. So first of all, let's talk about color in terms of its communicative properties and how we would respond to things. So looking at this space, the colors are cool, they're lightweight, there's lighter colors above, there's neutral colors below in all the furnishings. It is a refreshing, relaxing, informal space. It looks like somewhere in perhaps Mexico or Jamaica or something like that. It's actually, I believe, in Poland. The color scheme alone communicates. If the walls were blue, if the walls were pink, it would say something different. It would have a different sense of place. Compare this to the colors here. This is warm and cozy. The colors are dark and heavy. It's an appropriate color scheme for coffee. Consider this color scheme. What's it like to work here? There's a lot of black, white, and gray. There's some neutrals. And then there's those Google brand colors, which are, if you recognize them, the medial primaries. Think about the same design, but different color applications, different color schemes to basically communicate different ideas or different moods. So the same design structurally in terms of shape and layout and composition, but different colorways or different colors applied. Or we have something like this. We have a primary color scheme, a triad, red, yellow, blue, applied to two different things with two different moods. So we can see that it's how we modulate color and not just the scheme alone that communicates what we want it to. So the premise of the assignment, the purpose of the assignment is, and remember that all design solves a problem or meets a need. Design is not self-expression, design serves. So this is a practice in using all your design skills and your color theory knowledge to serve a purpose. And the purpose for this assignment for you is to explore how people respond to color, to communicate through color. And you're applying color to communicate a mood or a character or an ambiance or in some other way by manipulating only the color schemes. So it directly relates to this idea of the same design but different colorways. So you're going to create 3 identical 6 by 9 inch designs. Any subject, any theme. It can be representational, it can be abstract, it can be non-objective, it can be geometric. Go back to all of your two-dimensional design shape types and play around with it. So in this student exploration, we do see that the 3 panels are identical in terms of shapes and composition and structure. Then, for each panel, you're going to apply a different thing to communicate. You can pick 3 of these. These are what you're limited to. Nothing else will be approved, so there are no other options. You pick 3 of these 6 to depict by virtue of color. If you need to, look up the definitions of these words. It's always helpful for designers to understand the words that describe the design problem they have to solve. Get into the etymology of what words mean, and when you work with clients, by the way, make sure you understand what they mean by the words that they use. Use the dictionary, understand what the words mean. That's going to give you clues to envision color schemes. And then for each adjective, you're going to select a color scheme to represent it. So the idea is definitely to decide on the best color scheme to help you communicate the mood. So which of these, if you choose anger, which of these is going to best enable you to communicate the concept of anger? Manipulate and modulate your colors within that color scheme. So you've got the color scheme construction. Say you choose a triad. Well, which triad is it going to be? Is it going to be the equilateral triangle, or is it going to be the isosceles triangle? Are you going to be using the primaries or the secondaries or either of the tertiary triads? And then look at value contrast, look at saturation contrast, look at extension contrast, look at temperature contrast. How would simultaneous contrast and complementary contrast play into the idea? So you're going to use tints, shades, tones, chromatic neutrals, true neutrals, and full chroma, as well as black and white. You can use shades, you can use heavy colors, you can use black and white straight up, but avoid using them as major players within your color scheme. On top of the color, make this good design. Take all your design knowledge and pour it into this assignment. Create your most excellent, best, stellar design. Your panels are 6x9. They can be either vertical or horizontal in orientation. You can use gouache on Bristol or software. If you're not familiar using software, use traditional media, use the gouache. So all of these physical specifications are in the assignment brief, so be sure to read the assignment brief. I strongly recommend that you read through the brief at least 3 times before you begin. If you need to, read it aloud, because you'll catch details that you can otherwise miss. Don't rely on this presentation alone to solve the problem. Use the assignment brief. You do need to create an original, unique design that is truly your own. It can be inspired by, so you can steal, but you can't copy. You can't download a template. You can't screenshot something from the internet and say that it's your own. Create something for this assignment. Consider structural and compositional principles, proportions, shape relationships, all of those things from two-dimensional design. And as I said, make it your best design ever. So let's look at some previous examples, and most of these are digital. This is a digital solution. This is also a digital solution. This is a digital solution. And one thing I will point out here is that I change the specifications and the color scheme constructions every so often. And so some of these do not follow the specifications for this particular assignment brief. So understand that and think critically through. So translate what you see into the current brief. This is also a digital solution. This is an analog solution. This was created in gouache. Again, read the assignment specifications several times before you begin, and do that before you start the assignment. Read the evaluation criteria at the bottom of the assignment brief. It's usually at the very end. That's what is going to be used to critique your work. And be sure it's an original design and not copied from another work. If you have questions, ask. You know how to reach me. And that's it. Have fun with this, and I'm looking forward to seeing your design solutions.